who I am in the big scheme of things with BP disaster and what's happening in the Gulf of Mexico. Um, when the oil explosion first occurred, when the rig first blew up, like everybody else, I was getting my information from mainstream media news, ABC, NBC, whatever's on the regular channels that you turn on television. And already knowing a little bit about Bilderberg and having watched the film Zeitgeist on YouTube years ago, a few years ago I watched it, I've had a pretty good idea, heard a lot of these conspiracy theories. I also happen to be a person who lives underneath the flight path of the chemtrails, part of the HAARP machine, HAARP, and so constantly on a daily basis, normally, we have planes, very high in the air, big aircraft that fly over and they spray these chemtrails out, and they grow into these huge clouds and they block the air. And those planes haven't been overhead, and I understand why, because right now those planes are being used on the other side of the country, in the Gulf. And at any rate, I listened to what was being said on the media, and I waited and watched and kind of hoped for the best, but saw where it was going, and then the reports came out about the media blackout, and I wasn't surprised. And then knowing that there was for sure a blackout occurring, I decided to go ahead and check those links out, and search YouTube and search Google and see what I could find, and I started finding a lot. I was finding a lot of reports, newscasters who were trying to test the water, and the water samples blew up, and people who were out there trying to show pictures of the oil and the tar, the mess coming up on the beaches, and being arrested, and cleanup workers out there with no protection, no breathing apparatus, without having the proper clothing and gear and equipment. And I was running across stories about the prisoners and who it was that was being doing this work. And then I heard about Kendra Arneson, and she was somebody that BP thought that they were bringing in, that she was going to go back out and talk to all the people and tell them, what she was learning, and that she would convince everybody that they needed to hurry up and move from the Gulf. And Kendra, God bless her, American hero, went in there, titanium balls, and had a meeting with one of these guys and confronted him about what she was finding and seeing, and just put her foot down and said she wasn't going to be a part of it, and went and did stories with the media, and told her story, and got it out there for the rest of us. So by that time I was mad, and I think in a way though I was still holding out hope, hoping that something would happen, that they would have to tell the truth. And at one point, a couple weeks into the incident, BP had a question and answer session one day on their BP America Facebook page. And I started posing questions that I had seen on the Matt Simons article about the differences between MC-252, which is the Macondo region. And Matt Simons had spoke about how he spoke about abiotic oil, and he spoke about the two different well sites, and that BP was covering that. And so I asked some questions about some of the information that he posted. And BP gave us like a couple days notice where we could post our questions. So I posted them on that page, and then I posted them again the day of the question and answer session. Not only did BP refuse to directly answer my questions, they said that they were taking questions in the order in which they were received. So questions that had been submitted 2 days beforehand weren't being asked, but people who were posting questions at the moment, their questions were being answered. And so me being stubborn and determined and unwilling to give up, I kept pushing, and I wanted BP to answer, so I kept asking the questions right there in front of the chat, and then they started erasing the questions. So I started taking screenshots and putting those into a pink document and making copies of those. And I sent those copies out to the media. There's one thing that I do know about American media, and that is they don't like being silenced, and they will report on it. And it was the New York Daily Times that decided to report on this story. And it came and gathered the facts and talked to a few of us and put it out there. So I continue to watch, and all this time, oh my God, the attacks that come from the BP cheerleaders, also known as Hawaiians, they are fierce. That is a ugly, mean, vicious crowd. The things that they will do to people, they go on a person's personal page, they look at the pages that that person belongs to, they look at their beliefs, they throw everything they can. I call it kitchen sink fighting. My mom taught me that. Kitchen sink fighting, where you just grab everything and anything you can and you just throw it in there. And that's what these BP cheerleaders and piranhas are doing. They're attacking anybody who says anything against BP. And I have them email me in my Facebook personal inbox. I've had them make threats against me. I've had them on the Facebook America BP page right there in the public talk about dropping a house on me, how they can't believe that BP hasn't taken me out yet. One poster, Rona, oh my God, Rona, she's a real fool, that one, talking about masturbation and dildos. BP moderators don't do anything about that. If I were to use one foul word against them, they would bank me from their site instantly. I posted a picture of one of the cheerleaders with splashed oil on his picture, and oh boy, all hell broke loose for that one. But BP moderators will sit there and let these people make incredible threats and say disgusting things, knowing that there's children and teenagers posting on the same threads, and they act like they don't see it. They'll come in a few hours later or a few days later and pull the post down, but nobody's watching the thread anymore. They're there, they're watching, they know how to stop this stuff, and yet they choose to allow it to happen. They let it remain on the wall. Rarely does BP come in and scold somebody. Once in a while, I can tell when it's coming, and I'll tell them, "Ooh, BP's on their way. They're going to scold you." And then, yeah, maybe a few minutes later or a few hours later, BP might jump on the wall and have something to say about it. So, but I'm going to look at my notes here for a second. I think I've pretty much covered it. One of the other things that I wanted to cover is, I know, the way that we decide which the way that I decide which information that I'm going to post, and the way that we conduct our searches. We go on to Google, YouTube, and other various search engines on a daily basis, and we search certain keywords. And one of the things that we look for the most, the reports that we really want, are the reports from the people that this is happening to, the people who actually live and work in the Gulf area and are directly affected. I understand and I feel for the citizens in that area. Not everybody is real familiar with how to video or how to post a video or how to, blog or get the blog seen. And the most important thing I can tell you about sharing your information and helping us find it are keywords in your titles. Those are what they consider tag words. And the keywords that we search most often daily are words like BP, Gulf, oil spill, two words together, oil spill. Another search term is water test results. We run the word leak, we run the word independent, and we do these searches every day. We do them for what's been posted daily and what's been posted during the week. Just because sometimes certain search engines, it may not have, like something could have been posted a few days ago, but Google search engine for whatever reason didn't catch it yet, and so 4 days later now, there it is. So we go through those articles, and there are thousands of those articles. And we pull maybe 50 to 100 a day, sometimes only 20 a day. It depends upon what good material is out there. But in those thousands, some are pro-BP information. We don't have a reason to share that. BP's putting it up every hour. Why should we be there to toot their horn? That's not our position in this. And then, like, there's some really ludicrous out there, far out there videos. I've seen a lot of people point the camera at the live stream feeds on the ROVs and sit there for hours in these crazy voices with, weird boom, 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 boom music and talking, they see sea monsters and creatures and oil-eating organisms. And, I don't know if any of that's true or not. But based on what I see in those videos, the evidence is not concrete enough for me to want to use it. I'm already under attack with posting credible information. I'm already under attack by BP supporters. Anything I post on there, they jump on it like a piranha frenzy, and they want to eat me up. But it's okay. There's a yin yang in that. By them always referring to me and my post, they are causing all the other readers to go look at what I've written. So whatever, it works for me. Fine, they can have at it. Sticks and stones. But there are like lots of twacked out videos, and we don't post those. We try to find accurate sources, information that makes sense, and especially anything posted from Gulf residents where they're out in their boats in the middle of the oil, in the middle of the core exit. They're on the beaches with their feet in it. They're showing us the pictures of the thousands of dead fish washed up. They're showing us pictures in their boats of their nets being pulled in with oil completely coated. People are getting sick. They show their skin conditions. I mean, that is what we want to discuss. That is what BP is blocking the mainstream media from being allowed to report on, and that's what we want Americans to see. It is incredibly frustrating to watch BP and FDA officials, EPA, whoever the hell they are, get on this Facebook America page, BP America Facebook page, and encourage everybody to come running down to the Gulf. Dip your kids in the sand, let them swim in the water, enjoy a free concert. When scientists have come out and said, and these are on YouTube too, that you don't even have to touch the sand or get in the water. Just being in the environment, breathing the air in the area, being there, it's absorbed. Even if you put something over your mouth or put on a breathing apparatus and didn't breathe it, it's being absorbed through your skin. It's in the environment everywhere. And then, like the reports about, the seafood is so safe to eat. Everybody run out and buy a wheelbarrow full of shrimp. There are no tests for core exit. And the FDA has already admitted this last week in hearings. It might have even been before this last week. I think it might have been back in June. They don't test any of the seafood that they find in any water where there's any oil. Duh. But they're telling everybody else that the water's open, go fish in it. So I just think it's really irresponsible for anyone to suggest food to families that could quite possibly be tainted or poisoned. I mean, how many truckloads of spinach did we pull off the market? How about the tomatoes? It actually wasn't the tomatoes, that was the jalapenos, and now the eggs, But boy, shove that shrimp down them, and why? So that BP can mitigate their damage. Here's the key on this one, folks. If BP gets everybody out there and they say the waters are safe and you can go fishing, and that means that they don't have to pay for the fishermen who are out of job anymore. Oh, they say, well, there's people who are willing to buy the seafood. That's irresponsible. The fishermen who are saying, I'm not going to go pull poison from the ocean to sell it to you for you to poison the rest of the world with, those are American heroes. It's wrong. It's just disgusting, and it's wrong, and it shouldn't be happening. And so that was one of the key things that I wanted to talk